John Lewis, the civil rights icon who died Friday at the age of 80. All weekend, people were remembering just how extraordinary this man's life was.
Civil rights icon and American hero John Lewis passing away at the age of 80.
As a college student, he helped lead the fight against racial inequality by participating in multiple protests. In 1963, he was just 23, the youngest speaker at the March on Washington, right alongside Martin Luther King Jr.
My friends, let us not forget that we are involved in a serious social revolution.
2 years later, he would lead peaceful protesters across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, fighting for the right to vote. They were met with brutal force by state troopers, Lewis bloodied and with a fractured skull. He would continue his fight as a U.S. representative, known as the conscience of Congress.
Hundreds gathering overnight for a candlelight vigil there in Atlanta.
An outpouring of tributes for a legend, including from Barack Obama, who credited Lewis with helping to make his presidency possible, later awarding him the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2011, and now sharing these words. Not many of us get to live to see our own legacy play out in such a meaningful, remarkable way. John Lewis did.
Wow. You know you have lived quite a life when you get heartfelt tributes like that from all across the globe. And they really did come in from everywhere. Even from Republican colleagues that said, hey, this guy was an amazing human being who fought for what he believed in. Although I will say there were a few that were just a little bit off key. For instance, Mitch McConnell, Senate Majority Leader, and what mushrooms would look like if they had faces. He sent out a long statement praising Lewis's sacrifices, but at the same time, he's also been blocking the effort Lewis led to fully restore the Voting Rights Act. So it's a lot like if the Joker wrote a eulogy for Batman. Some people tried to destroy the city he loved, or tried to poison him with laughing gas. But I'll always miss Batsy. What? You were the one doing that. I mean, to be fair though, Mitch McConnell always sends a sweet message when a black colleague dies because it's one less person he has to keep from voting. But probably the most awkward tribute to John Lewis came from Marco Rubio, Republican senator and guy who could get away with playing Little League. On Saturday, Rubio tweeted a tribute to John Lewis, but with a photo of himself standing with a different deceased black congressman, Elijah Cummings. And I'm sorry, man, but that's just so embarrassing. I mean, this is the racial version of calling out your ex's name in bed. But I guess now I finally understand why Rubio sent me an edible arrangement on Don Lemon's birthday. I mean, it didn't make sense, but I ate that shit. And it wasn't just Rubio. 2 Republican senators confused John Lewis with Elijah Cummings, which is positively insane because they worked with the man for years. And this probably explains why Republicans only have one black guy in Congress at a time. Less chance for confusion, all right? You're the House guy and you're the Senate one. All right, this works.